everybody. Welcome to another episode of God's Girls Talk podcast. Today I'm here with my good friend Emilee. In this episode, we are talking about the topic of friendship, what God tells us about friends, how to make good Christian friends, and give an inside view of mine and Emilee's friendship. First, we're going to talk about what the Bible says about friendship. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about the Bible and friendship?
I think of how our relationship with God should be, how close that He should be like our friend, and how we can talk to Him as a friend.
I like that. Ecclesiastes 4:10 says that, "For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up." I think that's really nice to always have somebody around to help you out, and I think that is how friends should be. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
Then in John 15:12-13, God commands us to love each other and goes on to say, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends."
Well, it is kind of true, because like with my friendships, I'm really close to my friends. So if the situation needed it, I would die for them.
That's so sweet. How to make new friends. So as you might have guessed, Emilee and I met at our church. Church is the perfect place to make good friends, but you can make them anywhere. You just have to open up and get out there. I know that for years and years that I've known Emilee, 7 years, I just observed her more. I just sat there and watched her be all open with people that came to church. She would go up and talk to them, and she just seemed very confident and open. And I just watched that and I was like, wow, I wish I could be like that. So more recently, when we became better friends, I have become a little more open and a lot more talkative.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
I remember the first time that we had our first sleepover together. You came to my house and you were probably 9, do you think?
Yeah, around 9 or 10.
And it was so funny because we slept out in the living room and you were talking in your sleep, talking about how your brother stole your skateboard. And I had no idea what you were talking about. And I thought it was really funny. Do you remember any of that?
Yeah, I remember your mom telling me about it when I woke up that morning. I was like, oh, I did not know I was talking in my sleep last night.
I didn't know you talked in your sleep. Do you still talk in your sleep?
I do not know, because I'm sleeping, so I don't know what I do in my sleep.
Well, every couple weeks or so, my mom will say, "Last night you were making the strangest noises, and you were screaming. What were you dreaming about last night?" And I never remember. And if I do, it's usually something about spiders or falling or something. But anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. We have a few questions from our listeners about friendship. So one of them asked, "What makes a good friend?" What would you say?
A friend is someone that you should be able to trust and depend on, and be able to share what you need to with them and not feel like you're being judged or debated on it. They should just listen and be there for you.
Okay, I know this might be pressured question, but do you feel that way about your friends? Meaning maybe me?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thanks. That's good to know. That's really good to know. So what makes a good friend? I would also say just Google Bible verses about good friends. There are so many you can find. A friend is kind, they are loving, they stick close to you always. And I think that you can recognize a good friend, because I can definitely tell the difference between Emilee and some other friends I have. They're casual friends, I like to call them, because you just say hi to them in the hallways at school, or just give them a friendship bracelet, just like that. But with some friends that are, like, really close, you can, like, actually tell them things and you know that they'll listen and be there for you. Do you have any casual friends?
I have a few that I just say hi or like, how is your day? But they're not like people that I would trust with secrets.
Yeah, so I think that there is a big difference, and you can tell the difference, and you can definitely tell the difference between a good friend and not a very good friend. So then, Krista Luna 2023 says, "How do I make friends?" What do you think, Emilee?
I think you should be like more towards like not keeping to yourself. I believe that you'll have to be believing in yourself to maybe make people believe in you, and that you should just be more open, I guess, but not like where you share everything until you really get to know them. But I feel that if you want to make friends, you'll have to share things in order for them to share with you and more build a relationship with them.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I would just say be open because Emilee knows that I can be very, very open. Like, we went to a sock hop a month or so ago, and I told her first thing when we got in there, I will talk to anybody you tell me to. And that is how you make friends. Because when I was waiting for Emilee in the bathroom, I just started talking to this one girl out of nowhere and just like told her about, I don't even remember what, and we started talking about what colleges we wanted to go to. And it was strange at the moment. But then just recently, a couple weeks ago, I saw her at the library. We talked for a bit. We played hide and seek with all of the other teens there. It was fun, and that's how you make friends.
Okay, if you say that was actually a true story, yes, but I did not know about the library part.
Do you have any stories like that, Emilee?
If I think about it, I might, but not at the moment now.
I have quite a few stories like that where I'm just crazy open with people. That's how I make friends. Krista Luna 2023 also said, "Why is it so much harder to make friends as a teen as opposed to a kid?" That's a tough question. Emilee, do you have the answer?
Well, I feel like as a kid, you are more like I know this one girl, she lives close to my house, and she came up to me at the park, and she was like, "Do you want to be my friend?" I was like, "Sure," but thinking back on it, I'm like, was I like that as a kid? Because kids, I feel, are more like open and more confident because they don't have anything to worry about. But as teenagers, we're more like, what are they going to think about me? Like, I don't want them to think bad of me, or what are they going to tell other people that they know? And I think that more of, as a teen, because you're older, you have more of like trust issues because you've experienced more in your life. Whether it might not be like things that are like bad or whatever, but like maybe a friend who you couldn't have, that you trusted, but like backstabbed you or whatever. So I feel like kids are more open with themselves because they're younger.
I think so too. Because my cousin, he as a kid, he was just crazy open with people. He just loved people. Like at the grocery store, he would go up and talk to random strangers for no reason, just because he could. And yeah, as a kid, I was so shy and quiet. Like I never talked to anybody. I had like just one friend at a time. I never had more than one friend. So now that I'm older and I do talk to people, I have a lot more friends. So it's hard for me to like answer that question because it doesn't really apply to me. But yes, I would say just because kids are more, I don't know, they just like to talk to people. They are good at talking to people because they have so much to say. And I know now we have so much to say too, and we just need to share that. And it probably will be as easy as when you're a kid. But I don't know how open you were as a kid, really. So then Catherine Martin said, "How would you identify toxic friendships? How would you deal with them?" Um, Emilee, have you ever experienced a toxic friendship?
Yes, actually, I told a girl that I thought I could trust something, and she went right the next day and she told everyone, like, and I mean everyone, like, it was the whole class knew about it. And then I was like, "Why'd you tell them that?" And she was like, "Well, you said I could." I'm like, "I never said you could tell people." And she just kept telling everyone that she knew, even her family. And I was like, "Girl, I would never trust you again." And she's like, "Well, I don't need your trust." I'm like, "Okay, then I'm not your friend anymore." And she's like, "You sound like a kindergartner." I'm like, "Well, I guess I have to be because you're a kindergartner for not, like, keeping your word or whatever." And I feel that to deal with them, yes, I dealt with mine, like, a little bit harshly, but that was because I do have trust issues, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And once you lose my trust, you're never gonna get it. So I feel that to deal with them, you should, like, pray about it and, like, how to go about it and not act on the moment and, like, think to yourself, what would I do differently if I was in her position? Where, yes, you should be able to trust people and they should, like, not go against you, but then again, you should, like, think before you do things.
Yes, yes, yes. I would say you identify a toxic friendship by somebody that just you don't feel as friendly towards them, I guess. Like you you can tell when somebody's a toxic friend. You just have that feeling in your gut that they're not the greatest friend. There's this girl that I have been praying for a lot. She is going through some struggles, but it's hard for me because I can't really relate to her because she is very, very worldly. So I just pray for her because she is very, very depressed right now. And I try to help her when I can and talk to her and just comfort her, but at some point you need to cut ties with them. You can still pray for them a lot, but if they are hindering your relationship with God or being a bad influence on you, you need to just cut the relationship off. Even though it is sad. You don't have to do it harshly though. Yeah, just be careful. So for the last bit here, I just want to talk to Emilee about friendships in general and what you think about them.
I feel that friends are a must have in just general. Like, family is basically friends, but you're closer to them because you share blood. With friends, you share a connection. Like, maybe you started friendship over their favorite color or a hobby, maybe like a sport. Maybe you're on a basketball team with them or whatever sport you play. I feel that friends we have to have. We have to have relationships as human beings. And, like, our relationship with God should be like He's our best friend and our family. So He should be like the must have person in our life. And I feel that if we do not have close friends that we can trust or whatever, that we are more sad and feel lonely because we don't trust people enough to make relationships with them. And I think that people should be closer to each other because as humans, we have to have relationships or we will physically go insane. And it is scientifically proven that someone, like, shut off from the world will eventually lose their minds because they don't have close relationship with anyone. So friends are a must-have to live, basically, as long as family. So I think that people should get more open with themselves, and especially with God, and that they should trust them like they trust their friends and family.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I do say that friends are a must have. Last year when I was homeschooled and I never saw anybody really, I can definitely say that now I am a lot happier and I think that reflects a lot.
Yeah, I would definitely say that because when you were more homeschooled, I could tell that your mood was off a little bit. But now, like, that you go to school, you're, like, happier and you talk more and you're more open with yourself. So, yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. To wrap it up, I do want to talk about friendship with God. I think that that is the number one friendship you should have. And if you have a friendship with God, all of your other friendships will just be so much sweeter because you will know that you have someone to confide in with, just like being a daughter of God, I guess. Because Christian friends, they are so good, so good. And they just help you a lot with your relationship with God. It's like a hand in hand thing. You need to have Christian friends so you can grow in your friendship with God.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that because I knew someone who we did a book study with as like a school group, and she said that your relationship with others will reflect how your relationship with God is. So if your relationship with God is bad and rocky and not close, it will definitely show in your friendships. You'll be distant, shut off, not trustworthy. You'll have major trust issues. And I feel when I was going through hard times in my life, I was definitely like I shut myself off. I would not be around my family. I would just sit in my room. I would not do anything with friends. They'd invite me places and I would just say sorry I'm busy even though I wasn't. But I feel now that I have a closer relationship with God and I've dealt with my other issues that I can definitely say my relationship with my friends are way better because of it.
I think that's great. I think that's great, definitely. And I can just say that I'm so excited to go into the next school year now that I think that I have grown a lot with my relationship with God. And just as myself, I've grown a lot, even though school only ended a couple months ago. And I'm just so excited to get back to school, back with my friends.
Yeah, I can tell they were because you're all smiling now. And I feel that with the upcoming school year, now that I have more friends and a closer relationship with them, it'll be much easier and less stressful.
I think so too. And is there anything you'd like to share with the people listening before we go?
I would like to share that if you are having a hard time in life, that you should pray to God, find your faith in Him, walk with Him daily, and your friendship and family life will be way better because of it.
Did you just come up with that? That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I actually did.
That's so nice. You should write a book.
I don't have enough time for that.
Maybe not yet. Well, anyways, thanks for joining us here. I hope that you'll hear us again next episode, and maybe we will do an episode with Emilee and her aunt. Bye.
See ya.